No digas perras mamadas, güey. No digas perras mamadas, güey.
While wandering through a quiet, overgrown cemetery, a woman stumbled across a peculiar headstone. It marked the grave of a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Rice. At first, everything seemed normal, but then something odd caught her eye.
We're doing our ghost hunting. Next thing. Mr. Rice? Mr. and Mrs. Rice? Look at this. He was born in 1944, but died in 2034. And then Miss Rice was born in 1950, and she died in 2040. I thought we were in 2025. Did I time warp when I came through the other night?
Mr. Rice was born in 1944, but his date of death was engraved as 2034. Mrs. Rice, born in 1950, passed in 2040. Both dates were still in the future. She stood frozen, brows furrowed. Was this some kind of twisted joke? A stonecutter's error? Or something far more unsettling? While hiking deep in the woods, this person stumbled upon an abandoned building, and what they found inside was nothing short of chilling. One wall was dominated by a massive wooden cross, surrounded by dozens of old photographs of people, each face staring blankly, frozen in time. Nearby, smaller crosses had been crudely scratched into the decaying walls, and at the far end of the room stood a bamboo cross, eerily positioned like part of some dark ritual or forgotten shrine. Whether it was a warning or a memorial, one thing was certain. The air was thick with something sinister. He didn't stick around to find out. Thankfully, he made it out in one piece. This person lives deep in the woods, far from civilization. One quiet morning, while reviewing footage from a trail cam placed in their yard, they stumbled upon something chilling. In the dead of night, the camera had captured a mysterious figure who looked like a woman dressed in old-fashioned clothing, calmly walking across their property. But here's the terrifying part. The land is completely fenced in, and there isn't a single neighbor for miles. So, who or what did this family catch on camera that night? While hiking deep in the mountains, about 4 miles from the nearest trailhead, a lone hiker came across something truly disturbing. Scattered beside the narrow path were several handmade figures, twisted humanoid shapes with stitched faces, fragile limbs, and rusted needles piercing through them. Out of curiosity, the hiker picked one up. It was cold, damp, almost like it had just been placed there. No other hikers were around. No footprints, no explanations. The dolls looked eerily similar to voodoo effigies. Were they part of some ritual, a memorial, or something far more sinister? Whatever their purpose, the chilling discovery sent a shiver down the hiker's spine. 2 people were enjoying a peaceful day at a deserted beach, just goofing around and recording some fun videos. Everything seemed normal until they played one of the clips back.
Con atención este video. ¿Qué crees que era eso con figura humanoide que se captó al fondo?
In the background, a mysterious figure that looks like a woman suddenly appears. But here's where it gets creepy. Her arms move in a bizarre, glitchy way, almost as if the footage was edited. The strange part? The women who posted it swear it's the original video, completely unaltered. So what exactly did they capture? A camera glitch or something far more unsettling? In Argentina, a strange skull has sparked a wave of theories and fascination. It's elongated, far longer than a typical human skull, and eerily alien in appearance. Some are convinced it's proof of extraterrestrial life. Others say it resembles the legendary N10 from Greek mythology, mysterious underground creatures known for their sharp minds and overwhelming swarm tactics. So, what are we looking at? An alien artifact? A myth brought to life? Or just a case of extreme human skull deformation? The truth might be more bizarre than any theory. A group of backpackers was hiking along a breathtakingly scenic trail when, bam, it hit them like a wall of pure adrenaline.
Like a wall of...
No, really, because like that's what...
Out of nowhere, a massive grizzly bear stepped out from the thick forest, and without warning, it started chasing them. Panic set in as the group bolted, their peaceful hike turning into a race for survival. Hearts pounding, feet flying, they pushed themselves harder than ever, desperate to outpace the bear. Thankfully, the beast eventually lost interest and backed off. But that moment? That rush? Yeah, it turned an ordinary hike into the kind of story you'll be telling for the rest of your life. TikTok user Eric Hunter 1 was driving down a lonely road late at night when something chilling caught his eye. Curious, he checked his dash cam footage, and what he found was just as eerie as he remembered. Out of the shadows, a pale, human-like figure drifted across the road. It didn't walk. It floated smoothly, silently, gliding from one side to the other before disappearing into the night without a trace. The internet is divided. Some swear it's a ghost, others say it might be an animal distorted by the darkness. But one thing's certain, no one can explain exactly what Eric saw. While exploring a remote hiking trail, someone captured something truly disturbing on camera. Right in the middle of the path, a strange figure appeared, either sitting or squatting motionless. At first, it looked like a person, but the longer you stared, the less human it seemed. Uneasy and alarmed, the hiker didn't stick around. They backed away quickly, leaving us with just a few seconds of eerie footage. So the question remains, what exactly did they see out there that day? Two friends took a casual trip to Devil's Den in Gettysburg, one of America's most notoriously haunted battlefields. They wandered the historic grounds, snapping photos and soaking in the eerie atmosphere, unaware that anything was amiss. But once they got home and looked through their pictures, something chilling jumped out. In one image, a shadowy figure dressed entirely in black stood silently behind them. In the next few frames, the figure appeared to drift farther away, oddly, as if it were walking backward. Both friends insist no one else was there. Given Devil's Den's long history of ghostly sightings, especially of Civil War soldiers, the question lingers. Did they unknowingly photograph one of the battlefield's restless spirits? While out on a night walk, an anonymous uploader spotted strange lights flickering in the distance. Curiosity got the better of him, and he quietly crept closer to investigate. But as he approached, it became clear. This wasn't just a campfire or a harmless gathering. What he saw resembled a satanic ritual. He never disclosed the exact location, but the scene radiated a chilling, almost otherworldly energy. Something dark, something deeply unsettling. Whatever they were worshipping remains a mystery, but one thing was certain. It was not something you'd ever want to stumble upon in the dead of night. Frightened and overwhelmed, he captured a few moments of the ritual on camera, then turned and ran, gripped by pure fear and disbelief. After a powerful earthquake rattled parts of Myanmar, a curious woman set out on a hike to survey the aftermath. As she made her way past a quiet stream, something unusual caught her eye. Partially submerged in the water was a figure that looked eerily human. At first glance, it seemed like a person. Some locals believe it could have been a mysterious sea creature dislodged by the quake. Others insist it was just an old statue or even a mannequin unearthed after years buried in the mud. Whatever it was, one thing's certain, it gave everyone the chills. A man and his friend were walking through a quiet town in Veracruz, Mexico, late one eerie night. That's when they saw it. At the far end of the street stood a strange figure, motionless, dressed in a yellow dress and staring directly at them. And then, it moved.
Tengo una lamparota super expandex. Ah, bueno, tú tienes tu luz azul. ¿Sí? Güey, ese es el velador de... Es el velador, ¿no? Ah, velador. ¡Ey! Velador. Aguanta, aguanta, espérate, ey. Shh, no te muevas. Güey, no mames, no te muevas. No te muevas ahí. Güey. ¿Velador? Ese no es el velador, güey. Güey, no es el velador. Sí, no. Yo también pensaba que era el velador. No, aguanta, aguanta, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón.
Slowly, it turned its head and slipped silently around the corner. The two men didn't hesitate. They bolted after it. But when they turned the corner, there was nothing. No person, no sound. Just a crumbling children's park and an old weather-worn statue of a woman in a yellow dress, standing frozen in place.
Mire. No digas mamadas, güey. No, Yus. No. No, güey, no mames.
¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé.
No mames, güey, no mames.
¿Crees que haya sido ella?
Güey, nos estamos metiendo más adentro del reino mágico. Banda, comparte.
No mames, güey, no mames.
Parece que los ojos te miran, ¿verdad?
Pareciera, pero no creo, güey.
Locals whisper that the statues in that abandoned park come alive at night. So the question is, did these two just witness one of them in action? In the summer of 1998, a traveler exploring Ireland brought along their trusty Olympus OM10, capturing 2 full rolls of film, 24 photos per roll. Most of the pictures came out just as expected: majestic castles, quiet chapels, and sweeping emerald landscapes. But one image stood out, and not in a good way. It showed a dimly lit corridor ending at a worn wooden door, with a mysterious figure cloaked in what looked like a cape standing at the end. The problem? The traveler swears they were never in any hallway like that. They don't remember seeing anyone dressed like that, and they don't recall taking the photo. To this day, no one has been able to explain how that eerie shot got there. One strange image, forever burned into the negatives in their memory. During a guided walk through St. James's Cemetery, Louisa Farrell snapped a chilling photo that quickly stirred debate. In the image, a pale, human-like figure seems to stand silently among the weathered headstones. Some say it's the ghost of a soldier who perished during the 1644 siege of Liverpool. Others argue it's just a case of pareidolia, your brain turning shadows into something more sinister. But look closely. To me, it looks more like a woman in a flowing dress, or maybe even a nightgown, drifting through the graveyard as if lost in time. What do you see? YouTuber Hassan was exploring the eerie, shadowy hills of Jordan alone, just his phone and a flashlight guiding the way, when something strange caught his eye. At first, it was just a figure in the distance, but as he got closer, the details became clearer and far more disturbing. The figure had long, matted hair hanging over most of its face. Its exposed skin was a chilling, unnatural shade of dark gray. It didn't move, just stood there silently, its mouth opening and closing as if trying to speak, but not a single sound came out. Hassan called out, but nothing. No response, just silence.
غريب. انت بشر انت. اخوان ايش هذا.
Nervously, he began to back away, unsure of what he had just seen. Was it a spirit? A wandering soul? Could it have been a jinn? A supernatural being whispered about in local legends? Or was it all just a well-planned hoax meant to scare viewers? You decide. On their birthday in 2020 around 6:30 p.m., Reddit user Hello Imrani was walking through their parents' yard when something chilling happened. Near the edge of the driveway, just beyond the trees, they spotted a figure, someone or something pacing nervously, like it was agitated or waiting for something. Then, it stopped and turned. It stared directly at Ronnie. Startled but curious, Ronnie managed to snap 2 zoomed-in photos from about 100 to 150 feet away. But what stuck with them wasn't just the eerie timing or the way the figure moved. It was how deeply unnatural the entire moment felt. They combed through forums, explored theories, and tried to make sense of it all. But to this day, no one, not even Ronnie, can explain what they saw. On October 27, 2024, a man exploring an abandoned railway station stumbled upon something bone-chilling.
रात के 12 बज रहे हैं और आप लोग देख सकते हैं दूर दूर तो कोई नज़र नहीं आ रहा। इस रेलवे स्टेशन पे नज़र आ रही तो सिर्फ वो औरत। ये यहाँ पे देख सकते हो भाई, रात के 12 बजे ये औरत यहाँ पे क्या कर रही है। जैसा लोग बोलते थे कि भाई ये औरत नहीं, ये औरत की आत्मा है जो कि ट्रेन के आने का इंतज़ार करती रहते हैं और यहाँ ट्रेन निकलेगी उसके पीछे ही जाती है, पता नहीं क्या करना चाहती है। कई सारे लोगों को
Sitting motionless on a weathered bench was a pale woman, silent, eerily still. At first, he thought she was just another lost soul, until she vanished. When he glanced down to check his camera, she was right there. But when he looked up again, the bench was empty, gone. He swears she wasn't human, but a restless spirit trapped in time, forever waiting for trains that will never return. Locals believe she's the reason no one dares set foot there after dark. And now, so does he. A man got a motion alert from his backyard security cam in the middle of the night. Curious, he opened the footage. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal. The yard looked empty, quiet, still. But then he rewound the footage. And that's when things got weird. He noticed something unusual. Watch this spot right here.
You see this little orb right here.
Then you
watch. Babe. Look at that. No one's out back.
It just sits there too.
It does. It just sits right there.
And you can see the whole shadow, like a person.
That's nuts. I don't know how long it sits
Goes
there
away.
for. The orb goes away. Comes back. Now watch. The person is going to disappear.
It's like they're just boom.
Boom. Gone.
Suddenly, a shadow appears out of nowhere. Boom. clear as day, but there's no one there. Then, an orb, a small glowing light just hovering in the frame. Look at that, babe. No one's out back, but that orb is just sitting there, and it doesn't move. It just lingers. Moments later, the orb vanishes, then reappears, and just as suddenly, it's gone. Like it was never there. No footprints, no signs of anyone. Just a dark, shadowy figure and a mysterious orb caught on camera. So what exactly did he capture that night? Paranormal activity? A glitch in reality? Or something else entirely? A woman named Joey was walking home alone around 3 a.m. after a night of clubbing. She was drunk, exhausted, and just trying to make it back safely. That's when she heard it.
I don't know if you can hear that, but there's like a banging. Oh no.
Footsteps. They were coming from behind a nearby fence. At first, Joey thought someone was following her, but suddenly, the sound was right next to her. Oh no. Panic set in, and Joey sprinted the rest of the way home without looking back. So what was it? A spirit? A stalker? Or something not human? One night in Victoria, Australia, this woman and her husband were out for a quiet walk until a bone-chilling scream echoed from the trees nearby. The sound froze them in their tracks. Creeped out but curious, they searched for the source, but found nothing. Later, they uploaded the eerie audio online, asking for answers. Most people pointed to the brush-tailed possum, known for its downright terrifying screeches, especially when it's in a fight. But others weren't so sure. Was it just a wild animal? Or was something far more disturbing hiding in those woods that night? While hiking up Mount Shasta, a curious traveler struck up a playful conversation with a local tour guide and jokingly asked, "Ever seen Bigfoot up here?" The guide chuckled at first, but then his tone changed. Years ago, he said, he'd snapped a photo of a friend near the summit. Nothing strange at the time, until he looked at the picture later. In the background, partially hidden among the trees, was a shadowy figure with glowing eyes. Chills. The guide confessed that every time he's on that trail, he can't shake the feeling that something or someone is watching him. So, was it just an animal caught in the lens? Or did he unknowingly photograph the elusive legend of the forest? In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason, who runs the channel Appy Mountain Trekkers, uploaded what initially seemed like a routine video, a solo overnight camping trip deep in the mountains. Jason's channel is all about the great outdoors, hiking, camping, and surviving off the land. Most of his uploads are peaceful, almost therapeutic. But this video, it took a chilling turn. The hike up was uneventful. Jason cheerfully filmed himself pitching his tent and starting a campfire as the sun dipped behind the trees.
Figured I'd take a break. Got about 3 hours of daylight left.
While waiting for nightfall, he tried his hand at spoon carving, a quiet, relaxing activity. But as the forest darkened, things began to feel off. That's when he first heard it, a strange sound echoing from the mountaintop.
Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock and I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on this ridge behind me, behind camp. There's like a dip on the other side and it goes up to a higher ridge on this backside, and it sounded like it come from over there.
He brushed it off as a bird or maybe a small animal, but he admitted later it gave him pause. By 9 p.m., Jason turned off the camera and climbed into his tent for the night. But less than an hour later, something woke him up. A sound. Not just any sound, something guttural, unnatural. Hours passed. Then, around 1 a.m., he was awakened again, this time not by a distant call, but by the unmistakable sound of something circling his tent.
About 1 o'clock, I woke up again. I heard something circle my camp. Hear that?
As Jason swept his flashlight across the trees, you can just barely make out something in the bottom left corner of the screen. 2 glowing sets of eyes reflecting in the beam. They're low to the ground, unmoving, watching. While many animals' eyes reflect light at night, the sharp, fiery white glow suggests these could have belonged to wolves or coyotes. Domesticated dogs also produce white reflections, but the odds of a pet wandering the mountains at 1 a.m. are slim. If these were coyotes or wolves, especially if they had pups nearby, Jason was in danger. But here's the chilling part. Jason doesn't seem to notice the eyes at all. He never comments on them, never zooms in. He simply scans the area, then retreats into his tent and somehow manages to sleep through the night. The next morning, he filmed a short update before heading back down the mountain, but not once did he mention the eyes his camera had caught watching him. To this day, there has been no follow-up on the incident, no explanation, just one eerie video, and a sense that Jason might not have been alone out there in the woods. While driving in the woods, this woman had a terrifying encounter that they'll never forget.
Oh my god, no, fuck that.
Out of nowhere, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the trees, so loud, so unnatural, it froze them in place. At first they thought maybe it was just an animal, but the longer they listened, the more it sounded like something else, something wrong. The woman was completely alone, with no cell signal, no one around for miles, just the dark woods, and that scream. So, who or what was making that sound? Could it have been a wild animal? Or was it something far more sinister lurking in the shadows? About 17 years ago, a woman snapped a photo of her 2 young nieces playing near their countryside home. At first glance, everything seemed perfectly normal, just a sweet memory captured on camera. But when she looked closer, something chilling stood out. In the background, near the edge of the woods, was the dark silhouette of a person. The strange part? That spot was just an open field, part of their private property. no one should have been there. To even reach that area, someone would have had to pass through her house or cross a field full of cows. Yet, there was no sign of anyone that day. To this day, no one can explain who or what was standing there. It was July 2023, and the scene was their parents' house, a cozy, familiar spot where the whole family often gathered. That day, most of them were inside helping with newborn twins, while the sister and her fiancé stepped outside to tidy up the backyard. She casually snapped a few photos to track their progress, expecting nothing more than shots of her fiancé near the picnic table. But one image showed something she hadn't seen in real life, a shadowy figure moving through the garden. There were no neighbors around, no pets, no one else is outside, just them. Since that eerie moment, they've installed security cameras across the property, but in all the time since, nothing like it has ever happened again. Not a single unexplained thing. So what exactly did she capture that day? 2 years after purchasing a quiet cabin deep in the woods, the homeowner finally decided to check out the attic storage, an area they had ignored since move-in. Pushing aside dusty old boxes, they stumbled upon something unsettling. Strange symbols covered the walls, not random doodles or innocent markings. These were precise, ritualistic, almost ceremonial. It felt like something straight out of a horror film. Had the previous owners been involved in black magic? Or worse, part of some hidden cult? Looking back, they couldn't help but wonder, how did they miss this before buying the place? Years ago, a Reddit user shared a bone-chilling memory from their childhood home. An old house built in the 1860s, hidden deep in the woods and eerily positioned right across from a graveyard. One quiet afternoon, while alone in the house, their mother spotted something strange in the window. Acting fast, she grabbed a camera and snapped a photo. Later, she showed it to her husband. He had once stood in that very spot, so they compared the images. He's 6'2", but whatever appeared in the photo was even taller. It wasn't him, and no one else should have been there. With the house's haunted history and a cemetery just steps away, one haunting question remains. Who or what was standing in that window? Reddit user Strange Sandwich 28 shared a chilling tale about a mysterious house his grandfather built back in 1945 in Hagerstown, Maryland. The home was constructed using materials salvaged from a demolished church, an eerie origin that only adds to its haunted reputation, passed down through generations of family stories. When he was around 7, Strange Sandwich 1028 visited his grandmother with his parents. During their trip, they decided to walk over to the old, abandoned house nearby. As they approached, his mother suddenly froze. She saw movement in one of the windows, even though no one was supposed to be inside. His father, an amateur photographer, quickly snapped a few pictures. But it wasn't until the film was developed that the true horror revealed itself. One of the windows showed something or someone that couldn't possibly have been there. To this day, what they captured remains a bone-chilling mystery. While going through trail cam footage from his remote cabin, the owner stumbled upon something chilling, something he captured 3 years ago but never noticed until now. In the dead of night, a pale humanoid figure drifted across the trail, cloaked in flowing white fabric with a face twisted in eerie distortion. Its ghost-like appearance sent a wave of dread through him. Some claim it was a spirit, others think it might be a cryptid, or perhaps just someone in a bizarre bunny-like costume. But with no other footage from that night, one thing remains certain. Whatever it was, its identity is still a haunting mystery. Deep in the woods, tucked away in a remote cabin, a police officer was dispatched to investigate a possible intruder. The homeowner, staying at her Airbnb, had noticed the front door mysteriously wide open late at night and immediately called for help, fearing someone had broken in. But what the officer found was far more unsettling. As he approached the cabin, something was moving inside, yet it wasn't a person.
This police officer was checking for an intruder. He wasn't expecting this. Late at night, an owner saw her Airbnb door was open, so she called the police suspecting someone had broken in.
It was a mannequin, creepily lifelike, and it seemed to be shifting on its own. When he stepped inside to search, the place was empty. No signs of anyone, just that eerie figure, still as ever. Whatever was going on in that cabin, it wasn't normal. Back in August 2005, a group of amateur ghost hunters ventured into an abandoned house deep in the woods. As they filmed their exploration, something chilling happened. A mysterious figure suddenly appeared inside the house, sending the group running for their lives. Keep in mind, video editing wasn't nearly as accessible or advanced back then, which only adds to the footage's eerie credibility. But here's the twist. Was it something supernatural? Or just a regular person caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? A Reddit user named Spawnkill stumbled upon something chilling outside their cabin. A bunch of throwing knives scattered across the front yard. No note, no explanation, just cold steel lying in the grass. Were they left as a warning, a sick prank, or something far more sinister? One thing's for sure, throwing knives don't just appear out of nowhere, and not like this. A woman and her mom went on a last-minute road trip without booking places to stay. They used an app called HipCamp and found a cabin on an old horse camp with good reviews. But when they arrived at night, the directions were vague, it was pitch black, and the cabin turned out to be filthy.
This was the most horrific, disgusting, moldy, filthy place I've ever been. I was on a road trip with my mom. It was super last minute and we did not make any sleeping reservations for the entire trip. We were just doing it like night by night. But there was one night where everywhere was so booked up. Even the Motel 6 was $350. So we ended up using this app called HipCamp. It's kind of like Airbnb, but it's for camping. People can rent out like space on their farm or on their property and you can set up camp, but sometimes they have like cabins or glamping. So we find this HipCamp. It was kind of nearby. It had 100% good reviews. There were only like 10 reviews though. It was basically on an old horse camp, like a summer sleepaway camp. So I guess the camp wasn't going on anymore, but they were renting out the bunks, like the cabins for people to stay in. I've gone to summer camp many years. My mom's worked at a summer camp. We thought it would be fun. So we book it. The only instructions we got were that it was like behind the house next to like a red dumpster. We get there at like 10 o'clock. It was pitch black. We could not see anything and we couldn't figure out like where we were supposed to go. And it was so narrow that we didn't know if we could get the car through. I get out with my flashlight and I start walking up the road to see what's there. And it is creepy. I keep walking and then I see two bunks. Look at that fucking red glow. Look at the red glow. That's real. That's where we're supposed to sleep.
Oh, this is so fucking creepy. Absolutely not.
Do you see the cabin?
Absolutely fuck. So you can take us up to the room? Oh god.
Oh yeah, we heard a guy screaming like in the woods too.
Yeah. No. Ew, it smells like piss. Look at the dust. You know what? What is that? Ew! What?
The fact that this is real.
That's shit. Emily. Look. It's so disgusting and scary. You're gonna be
Look at the dirt.
I don't have to. This is the year 3-4.
Needless to say, we ended up sleeping in the car.
The next morning, the host finally texted better directions. Too late. After a weird interaction with the host's child, they left and vowed to always book ahead in the future. Reddit user Native Meraki shared a chilling detail. The property's former owner had their ashes scattered on the land. But the mystery goes even deeper. The area once belonged to Native American tribes centuries ago. So who or what Was the ghostly figure caught on camera? Was it the spirit of the homeowner still lingering in the place they loved? Or could it be an ancient soul tied to the sacred land? Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain: this haunting presence remains an unsettling and unexplained mystery. While browsing lakeside homes on Zillow, a woman stumbled upon something eerie in one of the listing photos. Curious, she zoomed in, and there it was. What looked like a faint, half-transparent figure of a woman standing inside the house. Could it be a ghost? Intrigued and slightly spooked, she shared the image on Reddit, asking for thoughts. The responses poured in. Some were convinced it was a ghostly presence, while others were more shocked by how affordable the house was. Without more information about the home's history, it's impossible to say for sure. But the mystery gave people something to talk about. While a family was enjoying a quiet stay in their remote Australian cabin, they got an unexpected visitor.
Don't you scratch my window. Oi!
A massive, wild kangaroo. At first, it was just standing there, but then things took a turn. It wasn't just a casual tap. This beast was restless, slamming its muscular body against the window like it wanted in. No one knew why. Maybe it caught its reflection. Maybe it saw something inside. Whatever it was, the vibe quickly shifted from amusing to absolutely terrifying. Kangaroos aren't usually aggressive, but when they feel threatened, they can turn dangerous fast. And this one? It looked like it could punch a hole through a wall. Thankfully, after what felt like an eternity, the kangaroo backed off and disappeared into the bush. The family was safe, but they definitely won't forget the day a kangaroo tried to break into their cabin. This guy was just waiting for his DoorDash delivery, nothing out of the ordinary, until he heard a knock at the door. But when he checked, there was no food, no delivery, just this.
So currently
I ordered DoorDash because my sister and the kids are gone for tonight. Like, I'm here by myself. The kids had football practice, so they had to go do their own thing. Thank you. So I ordered DoorDash, and I heard it knock.
A shadowy figure was standing dead still by a tree in the distance, watching him. It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just stared. Frozen with fear, he quickly pulled out his phone to record it, then rushed to hide in the bathroom. Eventually, the figure vanished into the night. That's when he called a friend to come pick him up. Would you have opened the door? While checking his cabin's attic for damage after a recent hurricane, he snapped a quick photo. Just a routine inspection. At the time, everything looked fine. No leaks, no holes. But months later, while casually scrolling through those old photos with his girlfriend, they noticed something chilling. A dark, shadowy figure with glowing eyes staring back at them from the attic. He swore he'd never heard any strange noises up there. No rustling, no scratching, nothing that would suggest raccoons or other animals. So what was it? A trick of the light? A small, unseen creature? Or something far more unsettling? A warning to get out while he still could. While staying at a remote cabin to celebrate her sister's birthday, this woman spotted a smaller, abandoned cabin nearby, with its door eerily ajar. Driven by curiosity and thinking, what's the worst that could happen? She decided to check it out. But just as she stepped closer, the door suddenly slammed shut, either by the wind or something else.
Me estoy quedando en una cabaña por el cumpleaños de mi hermana y enfrente hay como una cabaña así, como pero abandonada, chiquita. Y es como una casita del árbol, así como para niños, no sé. No sé, pero se ve muy tenebroso. No sé si se vaya a caer esto porque está como todo podrido. Y no veo como para encender las luces ni nada. Mira, allá está la cabaña. Y... No tiene luz. Hay como una mesa, hay ganchitos de ropa y televisor.
At the time, it was unclear what had startled her more, the bang or the feeling that someone or something was watching. Later, as she reviewed the footage she had filmed, her blood ran cold. A dark figure had been standing in the doorway the entire time, partially hidden in plain sight. They didn't wait to find out more. She and her sister packed up and left, choosing the safety of a hotel, miles away from the woods and whatever was inside that cabin. While feeling nostalgic, a man decided to look up his late mother's old forest home on Google Maps. But when the satellite image loaded, he was left completely stunned. There, standing in the front yard behind a parked car, was a woman with blonde hair. It was unmistakably his mom. The twist? She had died 12 years ago. Even stranger, the image was captured just 2 years ago, long after she passed. Confused and shaken, he turned to the internet for answers. Was it just a strange glitch in Google's system? A reused old photo? Or had he just seen her ghost? Something about it didn't add up, and people couldn't stop talking about it. While reviewing footage from his cabin's security camera, the owner stumbled upon something chilling, something he never expected to see. For just a few seconds, a mysterious figure flickered into frame. Its face was obscured, its body vague and unnatural. Definitely not a person, and certainly not any animal he recognized. The internet buzzed with theories, some claiming it could be a skinwalker. But the footage was too brief, too unclear, leaving more questions than answers. He hasn't had another encounter since, but the eerie image still haunts him. What exactly did he capture that night? While walking through the forest behind his house, this man stumbled upon something chilling. A perfect circle of candle holders surrounding a single animal skull, eerily placed at the center. The scene felt straight out of a horror movie. It wasn't just strange, it looked ritualistic. Whatever had happened there, it was deliberate and disturbingly close to home. In the summer of 2011, Reddit user Mikester4 joined a midnight tour of the infamous Waverly Hills Sanatorium. While exploring the notoriously haunted 5th floor, an area long associated with chilling encounters, he snapped a photo that would leave him shaken. At first glance, it appeared to show a woman in a white gown eerily floating in the hallway. But when he brightened the image, another figure emerged, this one standing ominously near a window. Considering Waverly's tragic history, especially the grim stories tied to those very windows, Mikester's thoughts spiraled. Was it just a trick of the light? Or had he captured a glimpse of something truly paranormal? This person, who lives in Missouri near the historic Trail of Tears, had a bone-chilling encounter one night after work. While driving home through a wooded stretch, their headlights caught something strange. A tall, shadowy figure standing eerily still among the trees. Its head moved in a slow, unnatural sway, almost like it was watching. But here's the unnerving part. It was standing on raised ground above a ditch, meaning this thing wasn't just tall, it was huge. Paralyzed by fear, the driver sat frozen in their car, too afraid to move, unsure if they were seeing a person, a creature, or something else entirely. Some commenters tried to calm the nerves by suggesting it might have been an owl. The uploader admits, That's the explanation they're desperately clinging to. A woman named Joey was walking home alone around 3 a.m. after a night of clubbing. She was drunk, exhausted, and just trying to make it back safely. That's when she heard it.
I don't know if you can hear that, but there's like a banging.
Oh no.
Footsteps. They were coming from behind a nearby fence. At first, Joey thought someone was following her, but suddenly, the sound was right next to her. Panic set in, and Joey sprinted the rest of the way home without looking back. So what was it? A spirit? A stalker? Or something? Not human? This person had a close friend who passed away just last week. But here's where things get unsettling. Earlier this morning, inside the very house their friend lived in, a house that's now empty and being gutted for renovations, a recording captured something deeply disturbing. With the sound turned up, you'll hear it clearly. A loud thud, followed by footsteps echoing through the silence. But here's the terrifying part. No one is living there. No workers were scheduled. No one was supposed to be inside. So the question is, who or what was making that sound? Was it just the house settling, or something this person's late friend left behind? Let us know what you think, because this person is still trying to make sense of it. While hiking, this person saw something bizarre tucked inside a tree stump, 4 miles deep along a stretch of the Appalachian Trail. At first glance, it looked unsettling, like a tiny shrine hidden in the woods. But then a commenter chimed in, explaining it wasn't creepy at all. It's a miniature nativity scene, something quite common in Italy during the Christmas season. They're called presepi, and the words Happy Christmas written on the side hint that this person may have stumbled upon a forgotten holiday decoration. But here's the real question. Who placed it there? And why in such a remote spot? Was it just an innocent festive gesture? Or is there something more mysterious going on in those woods? While hiking, this person stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. A perfectly intact staircase, standing alone in the middle of the woods. No walls, no ruins, just steps leading to absolutely nothing. No signs of a house, no trail markers, just silence and trees. It's as if the forest is hiding something. Who or what left this there? Some say it's a remnant of a long-lost building. Others swear it's something much darker. And the creepiest part? This person says they felt like they were being watched the moment they saw it. Coincidence or warning? While hiking with his dog Penny, this person heard something that made his blood run cold. Bone-chilling, unnatural sounds echoing through the trees. At first, he thought it might be an animal, but the noises didn't match anything he'd ever heard before. They were guttural, almost human, yet not quite. Suddenly, Penny froze, staring into the woods, tail down. That's when this person knew it was time to leave. But the question still lingers. Who or what left those sounds behind? Was it just wildlife, or something far more sinister, watching from the shadows? While driving in the woods, this woman had a terrifying encounter that they'll never forget.
Do you hear that?
my god, no. Fuck that.
Out of nowhere, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the trees, so loud, so unnatural, it froze them in place. At first they thought maybe it was just an animal, but the longer they listened, the more it sounded like something else, something wrong. The woman was completely alone, with no cell signal, no one around for miles, just the dark woods, and that scream. So, who or what was making that sound? Could it have been a wild animal, or was it something far more sinister lurking in the shadows? While hiking in the Appalachian Mountains, a man heard a disturbing sound that didn't match any known animal. Some believe it may have been a Wendigo, a mythical creature from Native American folklore known to mimic human cries to trap its prey. The mystery remains. What was out there in those woods? While hunting for mushrooms in the woods, this person heard something that made their blood run cold.
And this one looks like it has a bite out of it. And this one. And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh? I think it's time to go.
At first, it sounded like a human, someone in agony, crying out in pain. But the deeper this person listened, the more they realized it wasn't quite human. The tone was off, twisted, almost like it was mimicking a cry for help. Was someone out there in trouble? Or was this person being lured by something far more sinister, something that knew how to sound just human enough? Who or what was making that sound? While hiking through the dense Appalachian woods, when this hiker suddenly froze, his camera picked up something bone-chilling. At first, it sounded like a group of children screaming, but the more you listen, the more it twists your gut. The cries weren't normal. They echoed through the trees like something or someone was in pure agony. But there were no people around, no campsites, no trails nearby. So what exactly did this person capture out there in the forest? Was it a group in distress, or something far more sinister that knows how to mimic human suffering? A Redditor by the name of Burton Boy uploaded a spine-tingling clip to the Chills Narrator subreddit. He claimed to have captured an eerie sound deep in the woods, something that didn't match any known animal. The mysterious video quickly ignited a firestorm of speculation in the comments. Some swore it sounded like a werewolf, while others were left completely baffled. To this day, no one has been able to explain what Burton Boy recorded. This Reddit user claims that for the past 2 weeks, something chilling has been happening between 1 and 3 a.m. Almost like clockwork, this person hears a strange, blood-curdling scream echoing from deep within the woods surrounding their home. They've lived on the East Coast, in the heart of the forest, their entire life, yet nothing they've ever heard compares to this eerie sound. It's not an animal they recognize, not a coyote, not a fox, not even close. So what was it? Some wild creature? A person in distress? Or was it something far more sinister? This Reddit user says they were staying in a tiny mountain village called Hatoji, tucked away in the remote hills of Okayama, Japan. Barely anyone lives there anymore, just a few scattered homes and endless eerie silence. But on their very first night, that silence was shattered. Just after sunset, a sound came from deep within the woods, not once, but in a pattern, a low, guttural roar followed by piercing screeches echoing through the darkness. It would go silent, then start again, over and over, all night. At first, this Reddit user guessed it might be wild boars. Hatoji is known for them. But could boars make that much noise? And why would they scream into the night like that? Were they fighting, mating, warning, something, or someone? They were alone, in a ghost village, surrounded by forest. Every night, the sounds returned. Was it just animals, or was it something far more sinister? Eventually, this Reddit user managed to speak to a local, and the answer was shocking. It wasn't a monster, it wasn't a yokai, it was the Japanese sika deer. Cute, right? But somehow, this adorable creature is capable of unleashing a noise that sounds straight out of a horror film. So, was it just a deer all along, or could there be something else out there, screaming in the dark? This group of men was hiking deep in the woods when something made them stop dead in their tracks.
I think it'll pick up that sound. Yeah.
Man. A strange sound echoed through the trees. Not a bird, not a coyote, not anything they could recognize. It was haunting. Almost human. That's when things got eerie. While hiking roughly 3 miles off the main trail in a dense wooded area near Austin, Texas, a Reddit user came across something deeply unsettling. A hidden grave site, or perhaps a memorial. There were fresh flowers, a photograph, and personal mementos, all deliberately arranged with care. The scene felt intimate, somber, and undeniably heavy. Was this the place where someone ended their life? Or a secret sanctuary built to honor a loved one in a spot that once held meaning? One night, a man was driving down a pitch-black road when out of nowhere, chaos erupted. A gang of men wielding machetes burst onto the scene, charging straight at his car. Heart racing, he slammed the gear into reverse and tore backward into the darkness. The machete wielders gave chase, but after a terrifying few seconds, he managed to shake them off, barely escaping with his life. While hiking with his dog on the Wichita Mountains, this person suddenly stopped in his tracks.
I don't know if y'all can hear it, but listen.
In the distance, a chilling sound echoed through the trees, something that didn't sound like any animal. His dog, Bruno, immediately perked up, ears twitching, clearly disturbed. This person laughed nervously, trying to shake it off, but the tension was real. Bruno was like, "You hear that, Bubba? What's that noise?" he said, panning the camera across the eerily still woods. But what exactly was that sound? It didn't resemble a coyote, a deer, or any typical forest creature. It sounded more like a girl screaming for help. Or was it something far more sinister? Was this person being lured in by something pretending to be human? Or did he just capture evidence of something unnatural lurking in the Wichita Mountains? Let us know. Who or what do you think was making that sound? TikToker Carter Booth and his friend thought they were alone on their camping trip until they reviewed their footage. Hidden among the rocks, two mysterious figures were silently watching them. The eerie discovery left them deeply unsettled, shattering their sense of safety in the wild. In 2011, two campers were soaking in the beauty of Colorado's wilderness on what seemed like a perfect sunny day. But their peaceful trek took a terrifying turn when loud, unexplained banging sounds suddenly echoed around them. They froze, scanning the landscape for the source, but no matter where they looked, there was nothing. As if the mysterious noises weren't unsettling enough, just moments later, a massive earthquake rocked Colorado. It left everyone wondering, were those eerie sounds a chilling warning of what was about to come? A hunter in Pennsylvania set up a trail camera deep in the woods behind his van, hoping to catch footage of the local wildlife. But when he reviewed the footage later, he was horrified by what he saw. Instead of deer or raccoons, a lone figure dressed in a clown costume emerged from the darkness in the dead of night. Thankfully, the hunter wasn't harmed, but the chilling encounter nearly scared him out of his wits. TikToker Joe Fells, known for surprising his wife with adventurous trips, planned a remote camping getaway, but things took a terrifying turn.
Lodge Explorer.
Huh? What? What?
What is that?
What the fuck?
That was not there last night.
Nah, that shit wasn't there last night. We pulled up here. I come over here and set up this solar thing last night.
In the middle of the night, they discovered a rock placed next to their van, scrawled with the chilling message, "I will kill again." Shaken, they called the Forest Service, but got passed to the sheriff's office. Even the police seemed unsure how to handle it. While seeking help, they ran into a strange local who ominously hinted that nobody does anything out here without my approval, and he wasn't happy someone freelanced. Despite their fear, Felds and his wife returned to grab the rock, only to find another camper at their old spot. They warned him, and luckily, he was armed and unbothered. Before leaving, they thoroughly checked their van for hidden trackers, just in case they were being watched. What started as a simple trip turned into a real-life horror story. Sam recently shared jaw-dropping footage of a gorilla troop wandering into a human camp. With their heart pounding, a wildlife photographer managed to capture every intricate detail from the gorilla's curious expressions to their fascinating interactions. It's 1:40 in the morning and two friends are cruising down a deserted road. the darkness around them so thick the trees lining the sides are barely visible. Suddenly, something stirs in the shadows. Curious and a little uneasy, they pull over and aim their headlights into the woods.
I love cruising through here. We're going through the canyon. Yo, what the fuck?
Hey, I see
Thought I saw some shit. Nah, are you kidding me? Nah, nigga. Should I check it out? Nah.
Fucking make a ride, homie. Let's just see
Wait,
what's
what
up.
the
I
fuck?
see something over there.
Thought I saw something too. Let's see if I can get it on camera. Whoa, what the fuck? Yo, can you see that shit too?
That's a witch, nigga. That's still with the
Hey, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck is that shit, nigga? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck?
Hey, nigga, I'm not trying to get possessed.
At first, there's nothing, just silence and empty trees. But then, a figure slowly steps out from the dry brush, cloaked in black, hunched over, and clutching what looks like a walking stick. It creeps forward. One of the friends nervously jokes it might be a witch. Whether it's a twisted prank or something far stranger, one thing's clear. There's no good reason anyone should be wandering out here, alone, in the dead of night. Two friends shove a massive boulder off a cliff, expecting it to plunge straight down. Meanwhile, their third friend waits below, camera in hand, ready to capture the moment. But things take a terrifying turn.
Come on, you pussies! Oh shit! Oh! Oh! Holy shit!
Instead of falling straight, the boulder veers straight toward him. He has no time to move. Somehow, against all odds, he survives, but it's pure, heart-stopping luck. In May 2014, Malcolm Fox was enjoying a camping trip in Somerset West, South Africa, when he decided to hop on his bike for a casual ride. But what was supposed to be a peaceful outing quickly turned into a nightmare. After taking a wrong turn, Fox suddenly found himself face to face with danger.
That's all I got on me. I promise. That's all I got on me, I promise you. I won't mess around, I swear.
Footage from his GoPro captured the chilling moment. A man approached him aggressively, demanding that he hand over everything he had, but the robbers weren't finished. One thief made off with his bike while another frisked him at knife point, searching for anything else of value. What the attackers didn't realize, however, was that the entire encounter was being recorded. They never noticed the small GoPro on Fox's helmet. Thanks to the clear video evidence, authorities were able to track down and arrest the suspects. And remarkably, all of Fox's belongings were returned to him. A man walks alone down a deserted path, the trees closing in around him. Suddenly, he freezes, or someone is standing in the distance. Without warning, a blood-curdling scream rips through the air. Some viewers claim the scream sounds fake, but that doesn't explain the chilling presence of the white figure lurking ahead. A Reddit user recently shared a chilling photo taken during a camping trip in the forest, claiming to have captured the elusive Moth Man. The eerie image shows a dark, shadowy figure silhouetted against a bright sky, sparking heated debates among users. Some argue it's just an optical illusion or a case of pareidolia, while others are convinced it could be the real deal, a rare sighting of the mythical creature. While camping in Turkey, a group of friends stumbled upon something chilling. From the top of a distant hill, an eerie figure emerged, casting a haunting silhouette against the landscape.
Ahmet sakın şu an her yerde çıkabilir, her an çıkabilir. Allah sanda. Nerede? Tamam gördüm bir dakika bak. gördüm. Boynuzlara bak. Tamam işte. Ahmet bu boynuzlu şaş yapar bu Ahmet. Boynuzlu şaş yapar dediğin. Burayı koruyan boynuzlu şaş yapar, bu çok güçlü. Çok güçlü Ahmet, sakın panik yapma bak. Başına büyük bir sıkıntı gelebilir, sakın panik yapma bak. Görüyor musun? Şu an bize bakıyor. Ve şimdi bunu, o neydi öyle? Çıktı bu ortaya. Bu tılsımla çıktı ortaya. Ama çok güçlü Ahmet. Var mı başka yerde?
As the video captures the unsettling sight, viewers can't help but wonder, is this a demonic entity lurking in the shadows, or could it simply be an animal? The mystery continues to send shivers down the spine. Jake Chairs recently turned to the internet for help unraveling a mystery. During a family camping trip, a relative snapped a photo of Jake walking up a hill. But when they looked closer, they noticed something chilling. Right beside him were two transparent figures trailing closely behind. Jake insists no one else was around, and at the time, nothing felt out of the ordinary. So, what exactly did the camera capture? While the family was enjoying a stay at their cabin in California, their trail camera captured something chilling. As the homeowner rummaged through the trunk of his car, a ghostly figure emerged from the woods behind him. The figure, eerily human-like, crept closer, crouched low behind the car, and then vanished without a trace. Unaware of the haunting presence just feet away, the homeowner carried on as if nothing had happened. It wasn't until he reviewed the footage later that night that the true horror sank in and it left him shaken. A group of friends was enjoying a camping trip when they decided to take a swim in the ocean. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal, just another refreshing dip. But suddenly, panic broke out on the shore. His friends started frantically shouting for him to get out fast. They had spotted something he hadn't. Confused and scared, he swam harder, desperate to reach safety. That's when he saw it. A massive shark gliding through the water just feet away from him. Miraculously, he made it out unharmed, but it was a swim he would never forget. Lucky Beautiful Tafuntone83 recently shared a chilling experience from a haunted house tour at Plasteg in North Wales. While exploring the Eerie estate with her cousin and father, she kept her phone at the ready, hoping to capture any supernatural activity. Suddenly, through her camera lens, she spotted a pale figure lurking behind a tree, causing her to freeze in terror. But when she looked up with her own eyes, the figure had vanished without a trace. She also noted that the road outside the mansion has a dark reputation, often linked to strange hauntings and a string of car accidents, fueled by the legend of the Grey Lady. Although Plasteg is now closed to the public, she admits she's still eager and a little nervous to return to the haunted grounds. A Reddit user, curious but skeptical, decided to camp overnight at the infamous Skinwalker Ranch, a hotspot for paranormal activity. Even during the day, they couldn't shake an eerie feeling that clung to the air. But as night fell, the tension thickened. Suddenly, they heard branches snapping just outside their tent. Grabbing their phone to use as a flashlight, they caught a glimpse of something unsettling lurking at the edge of the darkness. The chilling sounds and shadowy figure were enough to send them packing in a panic. Did they come face to face with something not of this world? While on a camping trip, Reddit user Devour Hearts shared a photo that left their family stunned. Their parents had been driving along gravel roads, frequently stopping to snap shots of anything that caught their eye. One photo revealed something chilling: a white silhouette of a woman standing near a barn. At first glance, it looked like an overexposed figure captured by accident, but according to the Redditor, no one was there when the photo was. Olive for Life recently took a solo trip to the infamous Hampstead House in Connecticut, and what they captured has left the internet buzzing. In the photo, a faint, eerie figure can be seen, sparking debate. Is it a genuine ghost sighting or just a clever camera trick? Given Hampstead House's long-standing reputation for ghost stories, the image feels all the more chilling. Some viewers are convinced it's real proof of the supernatural, while skeptics argue it's just an illusion. As for Olive, they believe they may have photographed the spirit of a young colonial girl still lingering within the historic home. While hiking on Vashon Island, this man stumbled upon something truly bizarre. A tree that had grown around an abandoned bicycle. Over the years, the tree slowly swallowed the bike, lifting it high off the ground as it expanded. Imagine how incredible it would have been to watch a time-lapse of nature's slow but unstoppable takeover. While hiking near an old cemetery in Indonesia, a man decided to set up a trail camera, hoping to catch some wildlife. But when he later reviewed the footage, he found something he couldn't explain. In the dead of night, a strange figure dressed in white emerged, gliding eerily through the darkness. Without warning, it paused, then shot straight up into the sky, disappearing in an instant. Some swear it was a ghost, while others dismiss it as an elaborate hoax. Yet to this day, no one has been able to explain what happened that night. If you liked that video, make sure to check out the Dare to Watch YouTube channel, where we have tons of videos just like this. And if you want to see our latest scary hiking encounters, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.